Hi everyone, I'm Conor. I work for the Greater Spokane County Meals on Wheels as the Performance Improvement Manager. I'm also the go-to point person to explain basic food benefits to our clients. We're here today for Cooking with Conor at Catered for You. If you're like me, you've got neighbors who grow zucchinis and are constantly bringing them on over, and I never know quite what to do with them. So we're lucky enough to be joined by our wonderful chef for Catered for You, Romeo, who's going to walk us through some delicious recipes of really what you can do to utilize the zucchinis that are so prevalent here in Spokane during the summer. You can pick them up at the farmers markets. Like I said, a lot of your neighbors are probably growing them, so let's go on in and see what we can do. Hi, Romeo, how are you today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good. Thank you so much for showing us how to make some tasty meals here.
Absolutely. So we are going to start with a zucchini blueberry cake.
Okay.
All right. So what we're gonna do? I'm gonna start with this before I get it. I'm gonna get my pan ready.
Okay.
I already have turned on my oven and it's at 350.
Okay.
So it's gonna. That way, by the time I'm done with the cake, it will be ready just to throw it in there. And what I normally do is just spray a little bit, and shake it a little bit, and there you go. All right. So, as you know, I don't know if you guys bake, but you always start with the wet ingredients, obviously.
Okay.
So here we have baking soda and baking powder. So I'm going to add it to the flour right here. So I'm just going to put it right there for now because I'm going to need. I have a cup and a quarter of flour there.
Okay.
But I need a little bit of flour, like put a cup, or maybe a little bit less, because we're gonna flour the blueberries so they don't sink in the cake. Okay. So I'm gonna do this. Just kind of toss them a little bit. I'm gonna put them aside, and then we're gonna start with the wet ingredients. I'm going to have a sour cream, and then I'm going to use the oil. Okay, and I'm going to mix this a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shred the zucchini, and I didn't want to do it ahead of time so it didn't get all weird, you know. So this is a very simple process here. So what I do is I try not to shred the seeds too much.
Okay.
I mean, depends on. I mean, if people are growing their own zucchinis, sometimes you let them get a little too big, and the seeds might be a little too mature.
So when people are picking up the zucchinis at the store or farmer's market, what are they looking for?
They're looking for something like this. All right, so it's about a cup, right? So you want me to measure it just in case. And what we do is we don't press it, we don't do anything to it.
Okay.
So we're just gonna put it in there. So that's, one zucchini gives you a cup. All right, so now we're gonna continue. We have the oil and the sour cream. We're gonna add the sugars in here. We have brown sugar, and we have the white sugar, and we have 1 egg. So I'm gonna mix the sugar a little bit first. We don't need a machine to do this. I need to kind of mix it a little better than normal because my brown sugar has been on quarantine, so it's a little lumpy. Yeah, well, it looks like that right now. So I'm just kind of getting it mixed with the oil, and see, I have a little part brown sugar in there. Now it's gonna drink. So now I'm gonna put my eggs in. Okay. Mix it up. You only want to wet that flour, and then you're pretty much done with it. Yeah. A lot of people think that you have to beat it up like the cake, but you don't. Okay, so see how it's just kind of getting wet there? We're almost there. All right. So now, remember I said that the reason we do this is so the berries don't sink in the cake. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put them in there. See, just the kind of that quarter cup of flour. Oops, excuse me. So I'm gonna add them in here, and with the rest of the flour.
Now, are these fresh or are these frozen blueberries?
These are frozen. Yeah, either one works well. Okay, so once again, the trick is you don't want to mix it too much. So now we have our prepared pan here. We are going to start. Can you see me now? Okay. Start putting it in here. This recipe, you can double it. So if you have a bigger pan, loaf pan, you can get a bigger cake, obviously. So I would double it. I wouldn't go bigger than that because every time when you're baking is very tricky. If you start multiplying the recipe too much, it could throw off the quality, you know. Okay, so just like this, you just kind of even it a little bit so it's all one thickness. Then see the ones I reserve is almost more like a garnish, you know. So just gonna let them sink a little bit there, and there you have it. We're gonna bake this at 350, and always preheat your oven for at least 30 minutes, and always bake in the middle, not on the top, because that's when the heat is more even. The magic of television, right? So I had one pre-made here. So we're going to do this. Comes out very easily. And then we can cut it. So this is nice and moist.
Oh my goodness.
So, see? Can you see it? Can you smell it? Can you taste it? No. Okay. So now you have this beautiful cake.
All right. Oh, it's so moist.
Yeah, it's a really moist. This is probably one of the best. It's like
It's very good.
it's pretty amazing what a little bit of tasteless zucchini can turn into. Huh? Yeah. Yeah.
The zucchini is amazing. And it's so moist.